Hello everybody, welcome to the cover to cover walkthrough of the 2026 weekly Sprouted planners. I'm so excited to dive into these with you. Let's start with the covers, of course. So if you watch all of these cover to cover walkthroughs, I'm sorry, I'm going to go through every single cover every single time. Bear with me. Let's go through the covers. Starting with Flower Child, our floral option for the year. Next up, we have our fabric option, which is Sea Glass. And it has the gold foil detail on the front and the back. Green end pages. Daisy Blue is our third option. Inside cover here. Lemon Drop. Then we have Moody Blooms. Okay, we're going to stick with her for our walkthrough here. Let's talk about the size. These overall, without the coil, are going to be about-ish 7x9 size. Okay, if we are talking exacts here, we have 7.06 by 8.8. So pretty darn close. With the coil, this is 7.8. So the coil is, as you can see here, the coil is about an inch, a little over an inch. This is 1 inch, exactly. So you got 1 inch, and then it is 1 pound, 10 ounces. The actual page is 6.4 by 8.8. Obviously the same length, just shorter to make room for the tabs. We have the cover is as you can hear, hardboard cover. So it is hardboard wrapped in the art there on both sides, which is so nice. If you have, a piece of paper that you're writing on, you can use that as a hard support. Or if you're flipping over the planner to write in it, like it just works so well. So you got hardboard cover. And then on the weekly planner, we're talking about the tabs here. It is unlike the daily, this has the full year in it. So you got January through December colorful tabs. They are laminated Mylar tabs. So they're nice and sturdy. So that's the outside. And then as we flip into the inside, we do have an inside pocket here. You got your inside pocket, but you do have another pocket. So you have an included pocket that is double-sided. That's a new ad this year. As long as we're in the back, we also have an updated sticker sheet here. So these are made to fit so nicely in your planner. We took the quotes out, and instead this year you have more icons, more just plain colorful stickers, and then you got your flags and you got your month covers. Moving back to the front, you have this stencil bookmark that's in here. It has been updated this year with these. Last year it was all along the sides. It was just hard to put in there. So you have these making it easier to put in there, and then these are also a little updated as well. So these are all made to fit really nicely inside your planner, whether you want to make like checklists or you want to make boxes or flags or anything like that. You can use this for that. All right, let's talk about the paper. This is 80-pound paper. That's 120 GSM. It does have some tooth to it. It is not slick by any means. We're not talking Erin Condren or Emily Lay, but we aren't super slick either. The vast majority of feedback I get are people really like the paper. They like the level of tooth. So I think you're going to like it too. It doesn't bleed through, and it just takes pen really well. Okay, so let's walk through. This will probably be the most in-depth video about the front prep pages. I don't want to get too detailed because I don't want this video to be too long. And when we're doing our setup videos, we'll get obviously more in depth of that. So bear with me here, but since this is our first walkthrough video, we'll kind of go a little bit more in depth. So you have your title page. You put your name down here and how you want to be contacted, phone number, email, whatnot. You got your Let's Do This Together. I love hearing from you guys, doing community with you guys. So how to reach me. Let's just do this planning thing together. You have a welcome letter from me. And then we have a start here. Basically, I say, long story short, you call the shots here. I explain my thoughts behind designing the planner, my thoughts of the system, why I created this. But as you'll see, the layouts are so functional that you could do whatever you want here. So that's what I'm saying, but here's kind of my intention behind it. I talk about the features of the layouts. And then new this year, we have setup steps. So I think a lot of you totally dropped the ball on doing our setup videos last year until much later than I should have. I'm not going to do that this year, but I still want to include setup steps. So if you love going through checking things off, this is for you. I think when you're setting up your spread planner, it's kind of 3 big steps. So you have your value section. This is going to be the section where your brain is going to hurt afterwards a little bit. Okay, it just is. We're talking about values, people, intentions, etc. Then you have your big picture planning. Personally, this is so important. Personally, I think this is the most fun. So you're doing kind of big picture stuff. We'll walk through it, and then you do your monthly calendar. You fill in those birthdays, anniversaries, anything you already know as you're going into the year. Starting with values prep, you'll see at the top here that what section you're in. I included how to kind of find some core values here. So I include steps on how to do that if you want to follow along with it. If you already know your core values, you could rip this page out if you wanted to and just skip to this step. So you figure out your core values, and then you put those 5 core values here, and then the intentions of how you're going to live out those values for the year. So that's your intentions. Next, we move on to people. This is an updated page as well. All the front prep pages are updated from last year. Here, I talk about your people, like your home team is what I call them. I get that from Shauna Nyquist. They are your ride or die people. I also kind of dive a little bit deeper into levels a little bit. It'll make more sense when you read it. You identify your core, your home team people, and you put them up here. You kind of identify what level they are, so you can fill in these little circles with that level. You put your name, you fill in the little circles, what level they are, and this is your little color code here. And then you are going to write your intentions for those people, your intentions of how you're going to stay connected with them. So your people section, next we move over to the hopes for the year. This is just kind of your open journal. What are your hopes for the year ahead? I think a lot of times we dive right into goals and things, which is fine. It's not my favorite thing. I don't really do a whole lot of goals. I just like to freehand what's my hopes for the year ahead. I also put some areas, life areas over here if you kind of want to think through those, journal through those, some or all of them as well. So your hopes for the year. Oh, and then we move over to big picture. So after that, after you fill all this out, you take a nap because heavy lifting. But then you move over to the big picture section. So you have your 2026 year at a glance. This is a little changed up this year. You have your calendar, but I added some lines under here because if you want to be doing project planning, if you want to have focuses for the month, themes for the month, whatever it is, I added some lines that you can do that here. You have your holidays and observations. This is very US specific because I am in the US. By no means extensive list. Every single holiday, important thing in here. So these are just kind of like the biggie ones that tend to be observed or might shut down your bank or things like that. I included extra lines down here for the really important things for you too. Reflecting forward, what you want less of this year and what you want more of, and maybe some themes. You're going to be like, I want less screen time and more time with my people. And you're like, okay, I just want more intentional time. Could be a theme. So you talk about that here in this reflecting forward section. Move forward to the year list. This is your yearly bucket list. So you write down what you want. You know, it can be big and fun things. It can be serious things. It can be whatever it is. This is your bucket list for the year. And then preview section. This name got changed, but the concept is still the same. I had it as reminders before. Reminders maybe isn't the right way to say it. So I said previews, because this is going to be kind of planning ahead, thinking ahead, big picture planning ahead before you commit anything to your months. You have a quadrant here, and then you have your months for the year here. For me, I use this for seasons, the 4 seasons, and then I write like a little bucket list in here that I want to do for the seasons. Or you could do quarters, the quarters of the year here, goals of the quarter, whatever it is here. So you got that breakdown. For this list, here's an example of this. You can also see how it's different this year. The circles, by the way, you can put a little circle sticker from over here, a color, just to add some color. You can fill it in with a highlighter or a dot highlighter or a dot marker. You could get our icon sticker book and just put like the snowflake icon here and the heart icon here and make it kind of theme and fun. That's what those are for. So here's what I do. January, I already know I need to check dates for summer registrations for summer camps. I want to order Valentine's cards and plan for my daughter's birthday. So it's like, these are things I put down here that when I get to the month, I can look back and be like, what do I need to do in January? Yes. And then I can just move it over. So that's this page. That's the previews. We have a tracker here. So you got January through December, 1st through 31st. You can use this however you want. Use this area to track whatever your heart desires. I use this. I wrote down so far every single meal that we planned and made. So this is going to be helpful during busy times, or I can just go back and repeat that. So that's what I did here. I've heard other people track symptoms, track moods, track doctor's appointments, whatever you want to do here. It's just a nice tracker. Or you don't have to do anything. This is your planner. You get to choose what you want. We got 2 pages of dot grid. Anytime you see dot grid in any of the anything in Sprout Planner, it's going to be 5 millimeters apart. And then you have your 2 notes pages here. A thing about notes pages, by the way, so you have 2 notes pages here. You have, after every single monthly spread, 2 more notes pages. And then in this, you have a plethora of notes pages in your weekly planner, made possible by moving the reflection sections out into its own booklet. I'll talk about that more in a second here. Afterwards, you have, this is going to look the same across ahead of every single month. You got a dot grid page, and then you got a monthly dashboard page here. So you have different sections here. You can mix and match how you want to do this. You could not do anything at all with this. Let me show you my current one. So this is my current dashboard that I use. Now let me show you my August version of this. Nothing. I didn't do anything for it. And that's totally fine. It was busy. It's summer. So that's your monthly dashboard. I did make a video of this as well. I will post on here if you want some more ideas. I have a free printable that you can grab, that you can kind of pencil in with ideas, with kind of theme ideas or section ideas, and then you can just kind of do a rough draft of what you may want to do. So that's something fun you could grab. I'll include that in the notes below. Then we move on to our monthly spread here. Just quick high level, then I'll go a little more into it. So you have your, what month it is, you have your intentional checklist, you have a lined column, a checklist down here, and you have a little header bar so you can label it since it's in 2 columns. You do have, as you can see, the lined boxes. You have in light gray the dates or the holidays. And then new this year, I only kept the next month box. So I got rid of the previous month box to give more dot grid space over here. So that is kind of the biggest change. Otherwise, I know everybody, including myself, loves the layout of the months and the lines and everything. So I kept that. One other big change here, as you can see, in the intentional checklist is I added the monthly reflection. This whole intentional checklist is talking about these prep pages. The prep pages allows you to plan your year, and then every month you can go back and move what you want to do that month over here, what you want to focus on, what the intentions are. That is the intent of it. Prep pages are not a crock pot. You don't set it and forget it. You go back and you plan things in to make sure that you are planning a life that matters to you. So that's what these intentions are for. And then the monthly reflection is added because we moved it into the booklets. Here are the booklets. They are about A5 size. I have a whole video walking you through these, but your monthly reflections are in here and your year in reflection. All the reflection is now in here. Whatever planner cover you choose, that is going to be your reflection booklet that you're going to get. It's included in the price. You don't buy it separate. It's all in there. So you just get it with your planner purchase. So that's the reflection booklets, and that is the little reminder to go through and do your monthly reflections. You got your monthly spread. As we talked about, you have 2 notes pages after every monthly spread, and then you have your weekly layout. Now, here's what's changed in this weekly layout from last year. Nothing, because it's already perfect. I mean, as close to perfect. Y'all like it, is what I'm just saying. And said not to change it, so I didn't. I mean, I made this a little bigger, this header a little bigger. Maybe this got a little bigger. I can't remember for sure. I'll go through this kind of quickly. If you're not brand new here, I'm sorry. You already know the lowdown, so stick with me here. But you have your header up here, which I created to be your intentions. So you set your intention for the week. You can write down your 1 to 3 priorities for the week. You can use this as your big picture look of the week. You have your horizontal layout is what this is considered. So you have Monday through Sunday through here, even though, and just take note of that, it's Monday through Sunday, but the monthly pages are Sunday through Saturday. You have some area here that you could write down your meals. You could write down someone's birthday. You have a little, all I'm saying is you have a little bit of space to include something in these boxes. Then you have this column or this area. You can put down your schedule for the day, what appointments you got, what's going on. And then you have 3 check boxes. So you can do priorities for those days. You can do meals, you can do gratitude, whatever you want for your day. And then a couple extra boxes that you can include extra things in your schedule. Maybe you put your meal here, maybe you put dinner here, whatever it is you want to do. That is kind of your schedule page. And then on the opposite page, this is just kind of your notes working dashboard. So you have 2 columns of to-dos. It's 10 each. It's 2 columns so you can differentiate. Maybe this is your personal and this is work. This is you, this is kid. If you work in the academic system, personal and school, which I suppose would be like work, but whatever. If you're a student, you could do, yes, just like personal life and schoolwork, things like that. So, and enough room to label that up top if you wanted to. You have a grid right here that you can set up trackers. You can make lists on this grid. So you just have a dedicated grid spot. And then you have blank space here. So just for random notes, you're on a phone call, you need to write something down, you have your note spots here. Then you have down here your dot grid. I created this to be a reflection, your weekly reflection spot, but you can do, again, as you can see, like it's very minimally labeled. So you could do your next week plans. I've seen people do their meal plan down here, however you want this to be. So that is your weekly layout. And then it just repeats until the next month. So you do that over and over again through your whole entire year until you get to the end. And then you have your next year calendar, bridge the gaps. When you don't have your next planner, you can put down appointments, plan out vacations, plan out projects, whatever you want to do for next year before you get into your next planner. It's already built in there, which is really nice. And then, as I pointed out already, you have a plethora of notes pages, 41 notes pages here down in your notebook. So you got your notes pages. Again, we already talked about the sticker pages and your pocket back here. Here you go. So that is your weekly planner. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you have any questions or if I did miss something, just general thoughts, comments, whatever it is. If you're a weekly planner, if you just want to be like, whoop, I'm a weekly planner, let me know in the comments. If you want to get a hold of me, hello@sproutedplanner.com. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending your precious time watching this walkthrough video, and I will catch you on the next one, which will be the daily walkthrough.